Okay, I want to help somebody troubleshoot their air injection system on the Carrera convertible. First of all, when the engine's hot, here's a smog pump. Take this hose off and put some seafoam in here, a little bit, not much. And then you start it up and look out your tailpipes and see if any white smoke's coming out to check for leaks. If there's no smoke, wait till the next day, and then in the morning your air pump should kick on, and that'll blow all the seafoam throughout both sides of the head into the exhaust, and you have roughly equivalent smoke coming out both sides. Okay, if nothing happens, then your pump's either stalled or you have a blown fuse. On a convertible, you have to lift the top halfway, unbutton the 4 or 5 screws back here that are under here with plastic, and check the fuse. The fuse is good, power's here, right is ground, left is positive. You can disconnect it here, and this other one you don't need to do, you just slide it out. You could take off the 4 straps, and it stacks, and you can get down inside where the shaft is, and you can try turning the shaft by hand. It should turn. You should be able to turn it with your hand. If you can't do that, put a nut back on there and go get your drill and turn it both ways. See if you can turn it. Then what you do is you run it in reverse and then apply power to it at that time after it's moving. Apply power, and then the motor should kick on by itself at that point, and you'll hear the drag on the drill will be less, and then you can remove the drill and you watch it, see how fast it spins. Put it back together and then power it up on the bench and see how hard this is blowing. It should be blowing like a hairdryer on high. Okay, if you got all that working, and next thing to do is check your oxygen sensors. So you got to monitor it with your computer, and to make the oxygen sensors lean, which is they'll drop down to 0, you have to introduce some air in there by creating a vacuum leak. You can get it this guy here. You could loosen this up. I'll just loosen this up and let some air come in there, and then that should drop to 0. Well, while it's all buttoned up, to make it run high, to send oxygen sensors high, you can either introduce propane, which might not work, but you can choke this here by putting your hand over it, and that your both oxygen sensors swing high. What happens during this cold cycle when you first start it up is when you turn the key, all 4 oxygen sensors go to bias, which is 0.45 volts, and within about a minute or two the forward oxygen sensors go down to less than 0.1 volt, almost down to 0. When it's happy, this guy will shut off after a couple minutes. As soon as it shuts off, the oxygen sensors have to bump back up to 0.8 volts and then start cycling. They don't do that. Just try putting your hand on here, see if you can force it. If that's not the problem, then you got to look at the map sensor. The map sensor is probably not correct. So either clean it or go get another one and replace it. But save that one, because that might really not be the problem. And that's how you troubleshoot a Porsche Carrera with a bad... What? I'm busy. Okay. And then that's how you troubleshoot. The oxygen sensors are right here. You put a screwdriver in here and you lift these red tabs up. Then you can disconnect them. There's a forward and aft, and on the other side over here is forward and aft. You have to take the air box out to get to them. And pretty much that's it. So man that.